Good evening, everyone. Dan Geromo, Big Boomer here. My pleasure to share with you tonight a 12-week plan to financial independence and perpetual gold acquisition. And with that, the single most difficult thing to do in life is to pass one idea from one person to another without being misunderstood. How many people are married here? Has your spouse ever misunderstood you? Even though you were sure about what you were trying to say, they didn't hear that information in the same way. So if I seem redundant and repetitive at times, it's because I aim not to be misunderstood and to pass the information correctly to you so you get a broad perspective. Now, just as you are watching this on a computer, if you want that computer to do something it couldn't do before, what do you got to do to it? You got to give it a new program update. The challenge we see in society today is that many, too many, are operating under an old program that is no longer effective in today's changed world. Tonight, I am going to do my best to pass to you the correct program update. It will still be up to you to click install. Here is the root of the problem we see in society. It has not been talked about. It has not been admitted in Washington, D.C. This is man's debt money. How many of you work for this? If you work for man's debt money, you work for probably a linear income. And no matter how much money we throw at a problem, you cannot solve, this is common sense, you cannot solve any problem by throwing more debt at debt. All you create is more debt. And this here is the world's exclusive reserve currency until it isn't anymore. Recognizing the problem is the beginning of the real solution. Whatever happens to the dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. Now, I want you to take out a dollar bill. Everybody got one out? All right. Here's what you don't know. Here's program update. Number one was whatever happens to the dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. Number two, you cannot outwork an exponential inflation with a linear income. Can't do it anymore. Okay? Now, this dollar was worth 1.5 grams of gold. Did you know that? When paper money first came out, the dollar was worth 1.5 grams of gold. Now, this is what happened at fold it in half. That's the buying power of that dollar after World War I and World War II. Fold it in half a second time. That's after the Korean War. Fold it in half again. This is after the Cold War, the Vietnam War, and this happens to also be when we got decoupled from gold. When the discipline of printing money backed by gold was decoupled from gold and you could print money, and it was called fiat from that point on. Now this, fold it one more time. That is after Desert Storm. That's all that's left after the buying power of the dollar. And then fold it in half again. Come on, fold it. That's after Afghan War, and fold it one more time. That is all that's left of the buying power of the dollar, and it's not coming back. My point in making you fold that was simple. As you continued to lose the buying power, it became harder in order to make the dollar do what it could do. And therefore, we went from a one household income where mothers stayed home and raised their children to decouple from gold and take two to do what one used to do. The job was only a tool to meet the needs of the economy. And the job was supposed to do three things. Number one, it was supposed to pay the taxes the government said you're supposed to pay. Number two, it was supposed to give you enough money to live on. And number three, it was supposed to give you enough money that you didn't have to live on, so you could take that money and put it in the power of compounding so that when you're too old to work, you had something to live on. How's that working for you? Right? And now we see the debt ceiling talks. Why are we even having debt ceiling talks? You know the difference between deficit and debt? Now we have the fast food workers union want $15 an hour to flip burgers, and kids stay home till they're 26 years of age. If this was doing what it was supposed to do, you wouldn't see Occupy Wall Street, you wouldn't see Tea Party movements, you wouldn't see regime changes across the planet, you wouldn't see countries going bankrupt and bail-ins and bailouts and all of this rhetoric. You need to face the facts. It is the inevitable. This no longer does what it used to do. And unless you want to have 4 jobs, I suggest this would be a good time to pay close attention. My grandfather told me, do 3 things, you'll be great. He was a Pentecostal minister in upstate New York, Binghamton, founded 3 churches and was a shoemaker. Humbled man, came over in Ellis Island from Italy. He said, Dan, show up, pay attention, and just do something. Here's the package that is created and perpetuated by everything you see. This is the structure. You know what that looks like. That's the structure of our government. That's the structure of corporations. That's the structure of unions. That's the structure of the school system. That's the structure in your own home. It's the structure of power. Yet, it has limitations as you move up in there. So it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do. When there's only so much room in a linear income, they can't pay you necessarily what you're worth. Now, in this structure, people, when you go outside the door, and this is their package, understand that. People have no problem when they look down the street. See, look how good everybody's doing. Well, how impressed would you be if they had to own it outright before they possessed it at all? Wouldn't be so impressive, would it? I was a repo man for 27 years in Southern California. I saw a side of life that most people don't see, and tonight I'm going to give you the bare facts. Some may be great, some are going to be inspiring, and others may not necessarily want to hear. But I think you would rather know the truth and get a nice fluffy pat on the back. And if that appeals to you, then pay attention, and I hope I will do a good job of passing this for you. The trap is debt. Prior, where you see the one household income, this is a real $100 bill from 1928, $100 gold certificate. It was worth, this is how they got you to take paper money. Do you realize that paper money is nothing but a substitute for gold? Which would you rather have, the real money gold or substitute for real money gold? It said right here, in gold coin payable to bearer upon demand. 15 years after they started printing this, it lost 20% of its buying power. So it was frozen in time in 1928. It would have the buying power of $5,550. Then it went to something that looks like that. And now the new ones look like this. Okay, have you seen them? Now, it isn't ever coming back. It can't mathematically. Now here, if you want, let me put it this way. If you want to lose weight, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to get a scale, right? Because how else are you going to tell if you're losing weight or gaining weight, right? Common sense. I'm going to talk to you common sense today. Well, let me tell you where we're at as a nation. We have $14.4 billion with a B dollars of new debt just on the interest on the national debt and the unfunded mandatory programs, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and unemployment. Guess what? That's $14.4 billion every day. And that's not even the debt. That's just paying the interest on the new debt. And guess what? You have 10,000 new retirees going on that system that weren't there the day before, every day. And when it got started with all good intentions, those mandatory programs, there were 41 people paying into that system for one person retiring. Now there's only 3. And that doesn't even include one single dollar for any government office, a government person, job, a government pension, and not one single dollar for the military. Here's my big question to you. Would you rather have your savings account holding your retirement, backed by government insurance, or real money, gold money? There's a prime question for you. And in this package that they have, people have no problem spending 2, 4, 8 years getting a college education, spending 10, 20, 50, 100 or 100,000 or more dollars on a college education so that they can get a piece of paper that gathers dust the day they leave that. Because you never get paid for what you know. You only get paid for what you do with what you know. So how many people with college educations are out of work? But that is the system to perpetuate this. To pay you only what it takes to replace you in that system. You don't get to choose it. They tell you how much they're going to pay you. Now, here's a typical example. 40 years ago, when we were on the discipline of gold, a gram of gold. This is a carat bar. Somebody thought enough of you to invite you to check this out. That is 1 gram of 24 karat private issue bullion surrounded in a certificate of authenticity with holograms. And it's one thing to have gold in the vault, it's another to take it off, and this is a premium product right here, folks. It is real money. So 40 years ago, a gram of gold would have bought you 5 loaves of bread, and $1 backed by gold would have bought you 4 loaves. Not too much inflation after 60 years. But today, 40 years after printing money, with not backed by how much gold we had in the vault to structure that, a gram of gold will buy you 20 loaves, and $1 is only going to buy you half a loaf. Folks, that's the difference between gold money and paper money. And don't forget, in 2 generations, everyone forgets. Back 2 generations ago, the word savings meant storing generational wealth, money that was backed by gold. People used to live off of their savings. But after we got decoupled from gold, the media programmed you. Your eyes, your ears, and all the trappings and the messages that bombarded you day in and day out, day in and day out. That savings meant spending at a discount, affording your lifestyle. And we turned into, from the greatest nation on earth, lending billions to others, to the greatest debtor nation on earth now. So the real question is so far you've been paying attention, gold money. How do you get the most of the best quality gold money for the least amount of time, effort, and personal finances? That is the reason you came here. There's only 4 ways you're going to acquire gold. You can inherit it. One in my future. Is it in yours? You can extract it. Mining and panning, very popular. I can't sit cross-legged on the ground. That option isn't in it for me. You can buy it out of your own pocket. Most popular way, correct? Which means you're always limited by how much discretionary income that hasn't committed to your obligations to your family and your lifestyle. And so with all good intentions, you may want to get gold, but you never quite save up to get that ounce coin. Guess what? We have a better way. The person that invited you here brought you because they want to show you how to set up a Karat Bars dual system. Option number 4. Do our 12-week plan. If you follow it and you give me your A game, I will give you an A game income to match that. And in 12 weeks, if you follow this plan, you will no longer have to make decisions based on how much time or money you have. You really will have the seat in the greatest transfer of wealth ever. And it's a simple process. You're going to acquire the gold, this from our system, not from your pocket. In these times we're in today, you are going to need both cash flow and you are going to need gold money. The goal of the program that we have here is to make you independent of the decisions made by bankers, politicians, and governments, even with good intentions, but mathematically unsound. Here is my program update number 3. How do you save money? From all you've seen here, the answer is simple. You make sure it's not made out of paper. Now, who's going to pay you? Mr. Harold Seitz, founder, CEO, and visionary. of a better world based without debt. He created a global infrastructure umbrella, paid for it, 4 years in development, so that you could succeed and create a globally created income, not based on your locality, not based on your education status, not based on your socioeconomic situation at the moment. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter if you got wood floors, marble floors, or dirt floors. It doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. If you have a desire and a determination and value your own opinion and have a dream, he has created a structure for you to succeed in a simple fashion. Now, our new 12-week strategy accelerates your earning power. It pushes 30 years of work that you would be in the system package you are in today, and pushes it into 12 weeks. So obviously, if you can shortcut 30 years worth of work, do you think it's going to be easy? It's going to require you the hardest thing you're going to do is not physical. It's to reprogram the hard drive between your ears. And if you accomplish that, it will be the single greatest task you've created, and you will be one of the enlightened economic minds going into this, and you will see things from a whole different perspective. For some of you, you will not sleep tonight. You will dream of new things after seeing this. We are an e-commerce company, a fully funded infrastructure. Employees, staff, company departments and utilities, the accounting, web support, production, legal, banking, card services, shipping, receiving, international regulatory agreements, cybersecurity, vaulting, armored delivery, worldwide expansion hubs, support interlink, they're all funded by a corporate umbrella by Mr. Seitz for you to succeed. All you got to do is what you already do. You always tell somebody about something you like or something you don't like. Tell them about this, because we don't advertise. So who is Karatbars in a very short form? We're a debt-free company, headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany, privately held, and we are regulated by strict German laws. Germany is one of the toughest countries, if not the toughest, to do business with in the European Union, and we have met or exceeded their standards. I'm a common sense knuckle. I kind of put things together, see if they make sense first. After knocking 300,000 doors, asking questions from people I didn't know, trying to find answers when I was a repo man for 27 years. So I think I've learned a few things about that. We're recommended by Bundesspar, an independent consumer watchdog organization in Germany. We also, I'm a common sense knuckle, and I'm not Catholic, but, you know, there's over 1 billion Catholics in the world, and, you know, the Vatican licensed with us for the company for 100 kilograms of these cards. I'm sure that I'm a common sense guy. I'm sure that the Vatican has a far better business resource than I do to know if the company's real and if the gold is exactly what it's supposed to be. I mean, that makes sense, wouldn't it? Our key strategic alliance partners in this. If you're going to create this, we have Prosegur, third largest cybersecurity and digital logistics company in the world, 150,000 professionals worldwide, member of the World Gold Council, a highly prestigious track record account. Harold has secured vaulting for you in Prosegur's vault in Neu-Isenburg, outside of Frankfurt, for free, included in every customer and affiliate account. Now, if you choose, you can also have them vaulted in Switzerland and Singapore for a short, small contract fee. Or if you just want it in your hands, guess what? Nobody's making you do anything. You can get it insured into your hands by Federal Express. Okay? But having that option allows you, remember this, to plant a financial flag in another arena in these times that is in your reach, but just out of the reach of the bankers, politicians, and governments who think all of your money is their money without due process. There's the key word. G4S is another key strategic partner. You see their insignia from the Olympics. They provided the security for the World Olympics. They're the largest armored delivery service in the world, delivering all of our orders over 10,000 euros. They're seen in every international airport in the world. What is it that we produce? Folks, we produce currency-grade gold. Now, what is currency-grade gold? Currency-grade gold has 999.9 purity. Okay, it's stamped by an LB-May certified refinery, and it's on the London Good Delivery List. You realize that there's many kinds of gold, but only currency-grade gold is recognized by all banks and governments as good for settlement of debt. Folks, this is man's debt money. This is God's money. It doesn't rot, rust. It's maintained its value over 6,000 years. What this would buy, this weight of gold would buy 100 years ago, it'll buy today, and it'll buy in the future. We have 1, 2.5, and 5 gram denomination cards. We are also able to brand multiple companies and movements and organizations with it. You see this, the QR code and the holograms? That is coming for a movement that our company's developing in here. That is a USA card. Beautiful, isn't it? We have happy birthday cards for theme. Gold money gifts. Man, what a classy thing we make. Thank you. I love you. We also have Christmas cards. You want to get some Christmas cards? Why not give your family something nobody will throw out? Right? And for some new cards, they're actually able to brand your own movement. Folks, that is a prepper card. Now, here is program update number 4. Carrot bars are gold as money and inflation insurance. We are not gold as a commodity or for speculative thinking or a speculative investment. That's not what we do. We are gold as money in a developing system of exchange value in transaction-friendly weights with the only kind of gold that's recognized worldwide as good for settlement of debt. It was always kept in large bars that few can afford. Now it's in small bars that anyone can afford. And what do you mean inflation insurance? Here, very simple, common sense. Do you have car insurance? Do you have life insurance or health insurance or home insurance? Why? In case something happens, right? Listen to what I've been telling you. You know what they all have in common? They take this in order to buy it. What if something happens to the paper money? You got inflation insurance? It's the root of its change and the inability to do what it used to do is the root of everything that we're seeing right now and the challenges we are facing. This is the proposed future of currency-grade gold. What kind of gold do we have, Dan? We got currency-grade gold. It's going to prop up everything. Now, let me ask you a common sense question. Do you think the country behind the world's exclusive reserve currency can come out and tell you it's in trouble? No, who'd buy your debt, correct? Isn't that common sense? But they're giving you all the breadcrumbs for you to see this. I got this chart from the FDIC, and if it's good enough for banks and governments, isn't it good enough for your own money? There's another question for you. Here's our package. Here's theirs. 2, 4, 8 years of your life. 5, 10, 20, $100,000 of your income so that you can go out and work so you can work in a structure of linear income, which is an outdated program, so they can tell you how much they're going to make until they replace you, and you got to do that for 30 years. Here's I don't care what else you do. If you're working in this, you can stay there. Add this on top of it. Add our 12-week package. 12 weeks. We're going to take 30 years worth of work and compress it in a couple of basic tasks. You get to choose. Everybody starts here. There's no shortcutting it. You get to choose how much money you want to make. Here's our disclaimer. Income projections are shown in U.S. dollars. The action plan uses mathematical examples. How else are we going to show it? That are dependent on following the plan as described. Incomes are not guaranteed because we can't guarantee your efforts or the efforts of your team. Do you have people you work with that work less hard than you do? You work harder than them. Okay? This system was built not to convince somebody. This is built the fact that once people see this, you can't stop them from doing it. Now, it's all based on the 4 pillars of truth. All wealth and economies are based here. Movement of money, velocity, moving money toward you with a system and paying yourself first. The movement of money is the key. There isn't any economy in the world without the movement of money. And you know what the most important economy is? It's the one in your own home. You get that one fixed, you'll fix your communities, your cities, your states, your governments. You'll fix poverty in different places. But you got to get that fixed. When people get paid and they spend money and they use ATM machines, money moves. When they buy goods and services and they save and invest money, money moves. It is the movement of money that creates the economy. Now here, we had $800 billion was given to the banks in 2008. Did they move the money? No. And in the blink of an eye, they stripped the wealth from us and the equity in our savings and our other programs and from our children and from our grandchildren. And you should be very wary of what they do. The second principle in the economy is the velocity of that economy and movement of money that makes it so robust. Why is the U.S. the envy of all economic engines? Because it produces 25% of the world's GDP from one country. Free enterprise and ingenuity and innovation and the desire to have things both emotionally and physically can drive you here. Our 12-week plan harnesses everything you want in the frequency, volume, and velocity of moving money into savings, which determines the frequency, volume, and velocity of commissions paid. This slide should be particularly important. You have to move money toward you. Why is it that 95% of the population only has 5% of the wealth? Very simple. They have a linear income. They either have a job or they're self-employed. When they work, they eat. They don't work, they don't eat. When they can't work and they can't eat, where do they go? They go to the government. Where does the government get the money? They tax or fee the rest of the people working, or they print it out of thin air until, this is very important, they can't print any more of this because nobody except us will buy our own debt. 90% of our own debt is bought by us, guaranteed by the Treasury and the IRS. Now, when money moves toward them, they move it away because of the programming on stuff that makes them look good and feel good. Doodads that don't do anything. Does that sound familiar? Now, what is it that 5% of the population have 95% of the wealth? One word, system. Save yourself some time, effort, and money. What do? They have a system which like business owners use people and a system like a franchise model to create residual income, time, and freedom. Investors use money and a system to create residual income, time, and freedom. When money moves toward them, they push it back out into a system which multiplies it back to them both in capital as well as time. It's a leverage. And so what our 12-week plan does, it shows you how to move money with velocity toward you with a system, and ultimately to pay yourself first. It's the secret of the wealthy. Pay yourself before you pay your bills. You'll always have something. Remember what I said? How do you save money? You make sure it's not made out of paper. I was a repo man for 27 years, seen things that you haven't. I have a different perspective when I drive down the street. You haven't seen the heads and understood the heads when a mother and father put their head down on the pillow. How are we going to make it to the end of the month? I don't know. Is the guy going to come looking for our car? But you don't ever see that, and they're not going to talk about it. I saw people broke at $2,000 a month and $80,000 a month. I haven't had to do that for 2 years. Okay? That's $1 million a year, $80,000 a month. How can you be broke at $1 million a year? It's easy when you spend more than you keep. So, what you have here, on top of that, I'm a common sense knucklehead. See that? We have another key strategic partners. We have a Carrot Bars private issue MasterCard. Folks, you know, anybody would say, is this business real? You know, only legitimate, just pull this out, show it to them. That's it. Only legitimate businesses have these. Right? Ends all controversy, 100%. Okay? Yeah. This is the ultimate goal of the plan you're going to see. This is the correct way to move money, is that by doing our 12-week plan, you're going to encapsulate your entire financial status between this, which is cash money, the Karatbars MasterCard, and this, which is gold money, physical gold metal in an account. Both separate, but both mutually tied similarly together in a certain fashion through Karatbars. And so with this, we can move paper money. In this, we can save real money, gold money, in 1, 2.5, and 5 gram denominations. And guess what? All this is building up, and why I say we're an e-commerce company. Because we are building up to become kind of like an Amazon.com, where anything that could be bought in paper money could be bought in fractions of a gram of real gold money also. That's why you have to have a uniform type of money. That's why it has to have something that anybody can scan to see and know that it's real. And when you see these coming very shortly on the windows of merchants and on the cash registers that we accept Karatbars Gold is good for payment of goods and services also, you'll be on the advent of a new honest money system. No, nothing fiat, nothing printed out of thin air. No credit, which is money that hasn't been earned yet, that stimulates the economy, which makes the value of paper money worth less, even though it isn't. And no fractional lending, like when you give $1 to the bank and they loan out 9 more and collect 9 times the interest. Right? You know, that happens to be the same reason why banks come to repo cars, by fractional lending. Now, the real rate of inflation is over 11%. If you include gas, food, and energy costs, well, you know, I have to use those. Do you? So why does the government report it's only 2% core inflation? Every administration for 40 years has fudged the numbers. Why? Because once we got decoupled from gold, they couldn't give you the real inflationary rates. Why? Because if the real inflationary rates were 11% like they are today, they would have to index Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and unemployment and cost of living adjustments to the 11%. Nobody's going to do that, ever. So that means that if for every dollar you got in the bank getting 1.5%, if you're lucky in a CD or something, you're losing 9.5% on every paper dollar you got in there. I might be a knucklehead, but that doesn't sound like good math to me. Does it sound like good math to you? Here's our system. We've been building this up. It's so simple. Number 1, get back with the person who invited you here and set up and create a free Karatbars account. It really is free. No cost to enroll, no maintenance fees on it. You get a self-managed, self-protected website with no website fees. You can fund it as you want. If you just wanted to use it to plant another financial flag, do it. There's no logical reason not to open one. None. You have 0 financial obligations to it. It's there as a tool in your tool belt in case you need to use it. Okay? Number 2, for the 12-week plan, you set up your account with the person that brought you here and you immediately acquired a package. What did you do? You set up a system and positioned yourself in the largest market transfer ever as paper money moves to gold, silver, and oil-backed money globally. It's math. It's not my opinion. What are you doing when you acquire a package? You're moving money. You see, we have several packages to choose from. It matters not so much which one you choose as much as it matters that you choose one of them immediately and open the key to a vault. You get to choose your paycheck. In this system, you don't get to walk in and say, I want to make $10,000 a week. They're going to tell you how much they're going to pay you till they replace you, right? In this system here that we have, you get to choose your paycheck. You get to make a decision. You can give yourself a pay raise at any time. Choose a better package. Upgrade. You can start at an entry level. You can go right at the top to CEO pay. If you are a true entrepreneur, go right to what we call a VIP. And only if you're a VIP and enroll 4 VIPs to this, refer 4 VIP that think like you and value their own opinion just like you. You have a complete return of capital that took you to set the system up, and now you are spinning off residual income with zero risk exposure, cash flow positive, and the maximum amount in our affiliate rewards program. Now, step number 3, you're going to move $65 of paper money, which isn't getting more valuable tomorrow than it is today, right? The money you got in your wallet and your pocket and your account is getting less valuable tomorrow. Inflation. It's cancer eating your buying power. Now, you're going to do that. Now what are you doing? You're moving money with velocity. You're going to take $65 a week, and for 12 weeks, you're going to acquire 1 gram of gold, and you're going to save it in your piggy bank. You still have the money. You're just taking one form of money for another form of real money and saving it. You still have it. I've never seen anybody, no matter what they do in any referral business, that was unhappy about having gold on their shelf. You? It's an asset on your balance sheet any way you want to slice it or dice it, and it never loses value or expires. Secret in that. Now, that is the commitment. And then in week 1, you're going to find 2 people that value their opinion just like you. You value your own opinion? Do you? Then find 2 people that value your own opinion and see this like you. And what are you doing then? You're multiplying the movement back to you in a system. So we position ourselves in the largest market transfer ever in world history and a pillar of truth about money. We have set up a system in order to attract money to us and move money correctly with velocity and multiply the movement by doing what you've always done, telling somebody about something you like or you don't like, and value your own opinion. Positioning yourself to get in the way of that movement of money. Look at that. Is the picture in front of you is exactly why people go college educations and go for 8 years. But how many of those people with higher paying incomes and a linear income are now compromised by what the paper money will do? That's why people choose that. You don't have to give it up. Now here's what you can choose. Which one would you choose? If you are young, do you want to spend 30 years of your life trying to get free? Or would you rather have money, time, and youth? Get focused, 12 weeks, give me your A game, and create an A game residual income and a perpetual like gold acquisition account in the largest market transfer ever. $1.4 quadrillion as fiat paper money, backed by nothing but a politician's and government's promise that it's good to pay the taxes. Has to move to gold, silver, and oil-backed money. How do I know? History has repeated itself and told us and shown us that is exactly what happens. As well as in today's, watch them make a move towards electronic money. But it will still be backed by, guess what? Currency-grade gold. So the choice is yours. We're talking about a debt ceiling for $17 trillion we can't solve. This is $1,400 trillion of fiat paper money has to move. This is how it works. Let's say you got back with the person that brought you here. You signed up, you enrolled, registered a free account. You acquired a digital bronze package, $135. You uploaded a couple of documents to secure your identity so you can get paid and protect your account so that you can't be, somebody can't try to impostor you, okay, impersonate you. And you acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, 1 gram every week for 12 weeks. In week number 1, you found 2 people that value their own opinion. They did that. You made $13. Now, week number 2, you didn't find any more people. You got that work done. You took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, you made nothing. Week number 3, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, you made nothing. Week number 4, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, you made $26. You realize your gold just cost you $39 then? You took $65, in week number 5, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, you made $39. Now that gram of gold cost you $26. Week number 6, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, and now you made $65. Here's my question for you. If you make as much money from a system as it takes you to acquire your own gold, how much does your own gold cost you? Somebody type it in. 0. Can you buy it cheaper anywhere else? No. Now this is what you're going to run into. Linear income logical question. Well, how much does your gold cost you? We set up a system right here. Well, Dan, that's like money from a job. You're right. Week 1, when you did the initial work to get this started. But what did you do week 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? You didn't. You did it before. Now you're getting paid for what you did before. Unlike your job, when you go to work Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday payday, Monday through Friday payday, when you go back Monday, you got nothing. You don't work. You don't make any money. You're going to do that for 30 years or more. In our system, you keep getting paid for what you did before. We're still getting paid for what we did 2 years ago. Okay? Which one's better? You want to get it done faster? Faster's better. Now, week number 7, you still have 6 more grams to buy. Remember your commitment to us? Your Play Team Sports commit. Week number 7, you can take your personal finances and you can put them away because now you're acquiring $65 off your MasterCard, turning in gold money, putting your gold money piggy bank. You made $143 this time. Do you realize that's more than enough money it took you to participate in the program? If you were digital bronze, you found 2 people in week 1 that this made sense to. You acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, and you only found 2, and everybody else did the same thing. Week number 8, $65 off your MasterCard, turn to gold money, put in your gold money piggy bank, $286. Week number 9, $65 off your MasterCard, system MasterCard, turn to gold money, put in your gold money piggy bank, you made $546. Week number 10, $65 off your system MasterCard, turn into gold money, put in your gold money piggy bank, $1,131. Folks, that's $54,000 a year. On top of whatever you're doing in 11 weeks, you get your rusty dusty moving. Right? You got a program at work to let you do that? Now, week number 11, you took $65, your 11th gram, $65 off your system MasterCard, turn into gold money, put in your gold money piggy bank, made $2,223. That's $110,000 a year on top of what you're doing. Am I making my point? Week number 12, you took $65 off your system MasterCard, turned to gold money, put in your gold money piggy bank, you made $4,485 in a perfect world. Well, guess what? The world ain't perfect. Some of you are going to find a lot more than that. Now, on top of that, in your business marketing packages that we have, you're going to get some 3% discount cards allow you to buy your gold at 3% better price, preferred price. I like that. And you're going to get these €100 discount cards in there that allow you to acquire and give yourself a pay raise to CEO pay for €100 off. I like that too. You get to choose your income. So when somebody says how much you make, and that's a totally logical question, in a system that involves linear income, work, get paid, and you never make any more of that, and you never make any less than that. But it's a totally illogical and ignorant question when you understand the value of residual effects from what you do once you keep getting paid for again, built in the hearts of people that you don't make do this, that you can't stop from doing this. Find 2 people. You value your own opinion, find 2 people that value their own opinion. You have to start at digital bronze. No, you should grab the best package you can. Silver package, $350 one time. You make 4 times more money. And it only takes you 4 weeks. If everybody else was just a bronze, you were the only silver. For you to not use your personal finances and start using your system MasterCard. By the time you get down to the 12th week, in a perfect world, it's $17,250 a week. What if you were klutz and half of that came out? Remember? What if you were fortunate and you found a bunch of big, stubborn people that can do a task and just did it? The blessing comes from the fact that this thing isn't dependent on who you are or what you think you can do. This is based on the fact of understanding the system, the 4 pillars of truth about money that Karatbars provides, and getting yourself in the wave of that transition. Gold package level, $800 one time. It pays you 6 times more than a bronze. By the time you get down to the 12th week, that's $25,000 a week. If you were the only gold and everybody was a bronze, only found 2, and everybody only acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks and didn't acquire any gold, guess what? You want an attitude change with your spouse? Some of you got them chewing off your ear because you've got yourself a nice lazy boy recliner and a big screen TV, but you got debt coming out of your ears. You know, some people got credit card debt. The average Californian's got 9 credit cards. You want to know where to get the money? Sell the couch and the TV. Because by the time you're making 25 grand a week, you're going to be on that couch watching that TV. Think about it. Most of you are going to be changing your zip code. All right? Now, you want to change your attitude to your spouse, put $100,000 in a month into her account, she'll have an attitude change because she knows you all too well. Now, VIP package level, top of the food chain, folks. Most popular, maxes out the comp plan. Eventually, everybody's going to upgrade to this. And you get to use a coupon, this bonus card from the packages in order to do that. It makes 8 times more money than a bronze. Folks, this is life-changing income. If you follow the pattern and you find people that value their opinion and follow the pattern, choose and find 2 that do. This is how it lays out across the board. So you get to choose your income level. And everybody needs to know about carrot bars. Do you realize what a fine line it is you're seeing this? You, please, thank the person who thought enough of you and invited you to come see this. It's that small, little, thin line that you're even looking at this. We don't advertise. If 10,000 new people every day for 25 years found out about carrot bars that never found out it before, only 1% of the population after 25 years would ever find out about it. Thank the person that brought you to this, that they thought enough of you to invite you. And be confirmed and convicted in your own self and congratulate yourself being smart enough to show up. Carrot bar stands for everything sound, solid, and truthful about money. Are you coming with us or waste more time and paper money? Make no mistake, the ex-repo man is telling you this. We know exactly where this train is going. The question is, do you want to go where we're going? It isn't hard. The hardest thing you're going to do is reprogram this to think a little bit different. And when that light bulb comes on, you will be an unstoppable force amongst people. They will know and see, and you will exude that simply. In retrospect, carrot bars is not a speculative investment. This is not a program for traders. We are not gold as a commodity. We are the future of exchange value gold money in a developing system where once again somebody can go to work and trade their labor for real money, preserving their buying power, unlike the paper money, which doesn't preserve the buying power of your labors anymore. You'll think about that statement for a while. And spendable gold, and yes, we will still pay sales tax. This will offer merchants and manufacturers and service providers and probably vendors a different way for them to move their goods and services at a time when the paper money is having challenges. Haven't you seen what's been happening worldwide with different paper monies? We will develop in a slow fashion across the world in a simple way for them to do that. Remember this, gold preserves your buying power. If the newspapers today say you have 3 days to turn in your cash you got in your hand right now for new cash, but that new cash is only going to buy a fraction of what it would before, how much of the cash you have in your wallet and your account would you be shoveling into gold money if you didn't lose that buying power in this gold money? Typical example, February 8th, Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, before he died, an oil exporting country, announced the bolivar would take a 50% reduction in its buying power. Did you even know about that? Media is good, not telling you nothing. Go Google it. Bolivar loses purchasing power. Okay? This here is a picture of the 7 originators of Microsoft Windows, an operating system to allow people to operate a computer more easily. It didn't work right. It had tons of problems. 7 of the 11 that had vested interest in the company quit. They failed to recognize and had a lack of vision. Understand the paper money has a shelf life. It has a 100% failure rate in history. There is no living examples of any paper money that has survived once it becomes decoupled from gold. And it'd be arrogant to think that this one's going to do the same thing. It's just a matter of time before it does. Change your inevitable. Are you one of the 7? You one of the 4? Get in, get started, and get committed for 12 weeks. We need you to come help us, help them change their inevitable. In 12 weeks, you can be free if you don't bargain with the process. Follow it, exactly what we do. Enroll, get a package, KYC, and buy 1 gram a week for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, I don't care what you do. And in week number 1, find 2 people that value their own opinion just like you and get stubborn enough to do the same thing you did and find 2. That's it. It isn't hard. We want to thank you for your time and attention tonight. It has been a pleasure sharing this with you because you are worth it. And please unleash the brilliant spark inside of you dying to get out. Do something significant with your life in the times we're in today and help somebody be able to say, make a decision. Yes, I want more information, or no, I don't. Let them decide. It isn't your decision. Go touch and take your eyes off yourself and help somebody. In these times we're in, we are going to need each other very much.